Come along with me in this video as I show you how I fashion a Thanksgiving tablescape and a simple kids table with mostly thrifted items. It's the time of year when everything seems to pass by in a flash, and before you know it, you're counting down the ball drop for New Year's. For my family, it is especially busy because starting in October, there is a birthday or a holiday every other week until January. I have thrifted most of these items you're about to see through the years that range from Facebook Marketplace to rummage sales. And while none of these items are new, some of them were purchased new years ago. Normally, I will purchase a Christmas ornament and use it as my seating cards. That way my guests can bring a little something home that kicks them off into the Christmas season. But since this is a mock-up tablescape, and since I'm not hosting this year, I did not have any ornaments to show for my place cards. I usually host Thanksgiving or a Friendsgiving dinner. It changes each year as I alternate with my mother-in-law for who's ever hosting in our homes. Do you host Thanksgiving, or do you share with your family the responsibility of hosting Thanksgiving? Let me know. I would love to hear. I think it's important to remember that patience is going to be the biggest thing that helps us design these beautiful tablescapes. I have lots of beautiful items that I can decorate my Thanksgiving table with, but that is only because I have been patient through 10 plus years of collecting these items. In fact, most of these items I have been using for well over 5 years, and some of them for almost 10 years. Another trick that I use is I try my best, I'm not always perfect at it, but I try my best to shop out of season. And what I mean by this is, while everybody's looking for summer things, I'm looking for the clearance winter items. When everyone's looking for spring stuff, I'm looking at the clearance fall things. I don't overbuy just because it's on sale. I shop with intent, knowing what inventory I have and knowing how I want to expand on that if I do. I'm also very picky with the items that I pick to bring into my home because I know they're things that I'm going to have to take care of and watch over. I needed to test out which compote would look best with the setup I was going for, placing different shapes and size vessels until it's just right. This is something I do every year. Since my birthday is halfway through November, I like to double up the job of my centerpiece and use it for both occasions. The flowers usually last that long and I don't have to worry about them dying, and since I'm making this mock table, I figure I'd show you how I do this. I take my inspiration from old oil on canvas floral arrangements. I love that they are imperfect and have big gaps between the stems of the flowers. I don't really take to perfectly manicured flower arrangements because, let's face it, it allows me a lot more room to mess up, which I normally do. I'm gonna explain the method I use to put these centerpieces together. First, I start off with what I would call a showstopper. Isn't that the old saying? Thrillers, fillers, and spillers, well, I sort of take to that here. Then I use a grid or a shape to map out where the flowers go so that it's even all around. Here, I'm going to place these alstomerias on corners of a 2x2 grid, and I'll continue to do so until I run out of flowers. If I have an uneven number of flowers, then I place them on a triangular shape. Lastly, I will layer in my faux florals and greenery, which save me a pretty penny every time because I use these in every single one of my arrangements. And even though they're the same stems, they always have a different vibe because they play off of the real flowers in my centerpieces. I place stems in until I have the look I want. It all kind of just unfolds into a work of art, little by little, and I am constantly turning my vessel to make sure that it's even on all sides. Now, it may not look perfectly the same on all sides, but as long as it's filled, that's the look I'm going for. I like that every side of the vessel looks a little bit different for each guest sitting at my table. This centerpiece is so over the top. It's so beautiful, but I don't mind taking it off my table when it's time to eat our Thanksgiving meal, of course. It's going to be very hard to have a conversation with anyone at the table if you've got a huge wall of flowers in front of you. So I take it off, I set it to the side, I put it on my piano, and we normally do our Thanksgiving dinner as a buffet style. Since my dining room table is on the slimmer side, it just helps if I don't have any food on the table during the dinner. Sometimes I make mistakes, and when I do that, I have to take those pieces out as I place them in. Like you'll see here, I'm going to place in some faux string of pearls on the sides because I thought it would be beautiful just kind of spilling out of this compote, but it wasn't really working. So I took them out. I love this frame that came with the 1790 Robert Ferber calendar, and the month I have is November. It was a rummage sale find, and it perfectly fits here. For the Pottery Barn's kids table, which happens to be a hand-me-down from my sister-in-law, was a project I took time to refurbish last year. I sanded it, stained it, polished it, and I also painted each chair. The tablecloth is actually fabric I intend to sew into cafe curtains for my kitchen in the near future, but until then, it is used as a tablecloth for this occasion. I use melamine tableware and disposable cutlery for the kids. That way, parents can enjoy their food in peace, not worrying if their children will break a glass, because I do give my own children real glassware and tableware to eat off of, but I know not every parent does that. So I use my outdoor summer set to set up a children's table. My son saw what I was doing and wanted to help, so I let him. With the setup kids table, my sons got excited to use it. And it worked in their favor because it was lunchtime and I figured it would be fun to let them enjoy the tablescape. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. Please let me know in the comments how you celebrate Thanksgiving. I would love to hear how you design your tablescapes and what kind of items you use, whether they're thrifted or new or they were passed on to you. Also, let me know if you're hosting this year. I like hearing about how families celebrate the same holiday, but a little bit different. It's always fun to learn about these things. Again, my name is Jessica, and thank you for watching.